All right, so here we go. Here's number 13 from section 9.4. And what is the radius convergence for this problem? So let's apply the ratio test. By the way, I'm also modeling what I would like you to write down on the problems when you do this. I don't want you to shortcut anything. If I write it down, I'm expecting you to write it down in a similar kind of problem on the quiz test or AP test. Applying the ratio test. We're going to take the limit as n approaches infinity of the absolute value, and first rewrite the n plus 1 term, x to the n plus 1, divided by n plus 1, multiplied by the square root of n plus 1, times 3 to the n plus 1. So there's the entire n plus 1 term. And now let's divide that by the nth term, which is a fancy way of saying let's multiply it by the reciprocal of the nth term. So n root n times 3 to the nth over x to the nth. Now let's do some canceling. All the x's from below cancel out all but one of the x's on top. All of the 3 to the nths on top cancel out all but one of the 3 to the nths on the bottom. That leaves us a new limit. The limit as n approaches infinity of the absolute value of x over 3, and then I'm going to put all the n stuff together. N root n over n plus 1 times root n plus 1. Now, when n gets really big, what do we think about the plus 1 stuff?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I want you to be intuitively being able to look at this expression and say, when n gets really big, this whole expression just goes to 1, which means the limit of this whole expression ends up just being the absolute value of x over 3. So there's our limit. Now, in order for this series to be convergent, the absolute value of x over 3 needs to be less than 1. Or negative 1 is less than x over 3, which is less than 1. Or the interval of convergence is between negative 3 and 3. Now, answer the question. R is 3. Because the center of this power series is at 0. Go down to negative 3, that's a radius of 3. Go up to positive 3, that's a radius of 3. R is 3. And that concludes problem number 13.
That's how you want it written.
And that's how I want it to be written.